Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my question is to the Minister of Finance. Mr. Speaker, yesterday the federal government's budget did not include any measures to protect our borders and our citizens from COVID-19. For example, the week of April 4th through the 10th, the data available shows that no fewer than 39 international flights landed at Pearson Airport with confirmed cases of COVID-19. On these flights combined, more than 450 rows of passengers are considered affected by the confirmed positive cases. Mr. Speaker, depending on the size of these planes, we are talking about between 1,300 and 2,700 people. The spread of COVID-19, our dangerous variants of concern, is only made worse by cases coming in from other countries. Mr. Speaker, will the government call on the federal government to secure our airports as the federal government should have done months ago?
Minister of Finance.
Thank you again to the member for Flamborough-Glanbrook for that very good question. Mr. Speaker, everyone knew that the new variants were a threat, but the federal government did too little, too late. Canada could have avoided a third wave with stricter border measures that kept the variants out, or with more vaccine supply sooner to better protect people. In the face of weak border measures and limited vaccine supply, Ontario is doing what is necessary to slow the spread of COVID-19. By first pulling the emergency brake and then implementing a stay-at-home order, we have reduced the mobility and avoided the worst-case scenario, but we need the federal government to step up and take real action in securing our borders.
Supplementary question.
Mr. Speaker, the data from last week, April 11th through the 17th, shows that at least 16 international flights landed at Pearson Airport with confirmed cases of COVID-19. On these flights combined, more than 120 rows of passengers are considered affected by the confirmed positive cases. The spread of COVID-19 and dangerous variants of concern is only made worse by cases coming in from other countries. Mr. Speaker, will the government continue to call on the federal government to secure our airports as the federal government should have done months ago?
Again, the Minister of Finance to respond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The member, Mr. Speaker, is absolutely right. Our government has been doing its part, but the provinces can't not beat this third wave alone. We need the federal government to step up. We need more vaccines and tighter border restrictions to prevent more variants of concern. While other countries, like France, are banning flights from hotspots, the federal government did away with enhanced screening for passengers from Brazil, where one of the new variants originated. To ensure we're able to beat this third wave, the federal government needs to get serious about closing our border, make testing mandatory for interprovincial travellers at airports, and get more vaccines into more arms in Ontario and across the country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.